Whenever you start playing a new FPS game, adaptation is key. There's going to be new rules you've never experienced before, new maps, weapons, how far can I throw a grenade, how easy is it to get team killed. I don't know, even with the shooters that I'm reluctant to play, I'm always excited to learn a new FPS game. Even though I might seem like a really cynical, critical dude, and I'm excited for Black Ops Cold War, Halo Infinite, Far Cry 6, and the next Battlefield whenever the hell that comes out. I mean, hell, sometimes I sit here in my room just fighting the urge to buy Killzone Shadowfall.
Damn you!
Usually with an FPS game, I either like the multiplayer or the single player, or sometimes I like both. Sinking my teeth into a game and unlocking things and learning things and gaining the muscle memory to do better at the game and, really getting some confidence down, it's so fun and rewarding. So, with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, I heavily recommend that you just adapt to the game when it comes out. Just look at it as a learning experience. You see, I'm making this video because a lot of people were very, very quick to tell me to just adapt to Black Ops Cold War. Certainly in reference to the amount of times that I advocated, like an idiot, for adaptation in Modern Warfare. But unfortunately, it wasn't like an idiot. Look, Modern Warfare's overall gameplay loop and style is what I always encourage people to adapt to. You see, when Modern Warfare came out, there were tons of people that were playing it as if it was a different COD game, as if it was supposed to somehow play like other COD games that they previously enjoyed, and not like its own new shooter. You see, my mentality with shooters is that even if they're in the same franchise, I should expect notable differences between the titles. That doesn't mean I'm going to like all of the changes. I mean, there's a reason my family put a "Don't Mention Halo 5" sign on our front door. Now the neighbors won't come over. But my reasons for saying just adapt in context to Modern Warfare were twofold. One, I liked how Modern Warfare was different than other Call of Duty games. I enjoy Modern Warfare's style, so it kinda works for me. Yeah, I have to change my playstyle to something I enjoy? Awesome. And then on Twitter and on YouTube, a lot of people's complaints seem to boil down to I can't play Modern Warfare like I used to play X Call of Duty game. And my thinking was, yeah, you have to play it differently. And then the nutshelling started. People decided that Modern Warfare could only be played while camping. It was really funny. During one of my last live streams, I went on a 20 kill streak while moving around the entire map of Oil Rig. It was a game of Hardpoint, which makes it a bit easier. I'll get into that in a second. But it was funny, during that live stream, people called me a trash-ass camper when I played the entire map for my 20 kill streak. No camping required. See, the trick to Modern Warfare is finding a balance between camping and running around like a headless chicken. It was essentially move, stop, move, stop, move, stop. That was the meta of Modern Warfare throughout its life cycle. It still is if you decide to keep playing it. Games don't die when their sequels come out or the next game in the franchise comes out. But either way, moving to a power position, surveying the area, and then moving on, making smart pushes, playing a little bit more non-linearly. Instead of moving around in a circle, sort of a crescent moon formation, you want to do a little U-shape. You want to move to an area and double back. And that's what I think people needed to learn. You have to be unpredictable because the maps are messy. You have to take advantage of the amount of places there are to appear, using the most basic, most predictable pieces of cover. It's something that we're all going to do. But relying on that and then trying to push those really reliable pieces of cover, then people die and they complain about campers. And I know this because of the Xbox app on PC. You see, because I use my PC for party chat, I can actually have the game chat on in Modern Warfare and have it play through my speakers. That's why you guys on livestream can hear the enemies I kill sometimes. And the amount of times throughout this game's life cycle when I move up to a piece of cover, use it, kill somebody, and then move away within like 10 seconds, and then I'd hear the person I killed say, "Oh, he's fucking camping." Yeah, I'm moving to the piece of cover. The time to kill's fast, my streaks don't persist after death, I don't get any score or points towards my streak from playing the objective, so I'm gonna need to move around and use cover. It's sort of the old Call of Duty way. These are the things that I learned throughout Modern Warfare. And then it came down to game mode selection. I knew a lot of people were complaining about obsessive campers ruining the game. And they weren't lying. I can find those players consistently in Team Deathmatch. Sometimes in Dom, sometimes in Kill Confirmed, but consistently in Team Deathmatch and also Free-For-All, the maps don't really play well. There's no direct area to be, so it's aimless. It's kind of shitty. So I found game modes like Hardpoint, Headquarters, and Demolition were much better for countering that sort of problem that the messier maps created. And that's how I've always played Call of Duty. I've never really enjoyed Team Deathmatch in Modern Warfare 2, but I love it in Black Ops 2 because the maps are more simplistic and it's easier to control your engagement, so it feels a little less aimless. My favorite way to play Black Ops 4 was free-for-all, so I always have assumed that Call of Duty games play better or worse with certain game modes due to the differences in map design. And time to kill is also a really big factor there. How much flinch does the game have? How fast will I die? What are the maps designed like? Those things come into play with how fast people are going to be. Oversimplifying things just does a disservice to the game, and it's intellectually dishonest to say that Modern Warfare is just camping or requires camping to prevail or survive or whatever. Keeping a piece of cover between you and your enemy and doing stop and go tactics are really important for long streaks in Modern Warfare, and a lot of people learned it, a lot of people didn't, and it's sad that so many of the people that didn't just say, the game's not for me. They decided to blatantly lie about the core designs of the game or oversimplify them to their opinions that they formed while playing team deathmatch and free-for-all. So now go over to Cold War, and I'm being told to just adapt because I've shared a fair amount of complaints about Cold War. Now, Cold War has some design decisions I'm not a fan of, and there's the same in Modern Warfare. You see, the reason the whole just adapt thing is kind of funny to me is because it's a really good way to see if people have been paying attention to my channel for a while or, have 5 working brain cells. You see, if you want to get good at a shooter, you have to adapt to the entirety of it. Doesn't mean you have to appreciate it, it means you have to adapt to the entirety of it. And I did because I enjoyed Modern Warfare's core design, I just didn't like a lot of the mechanics they piled on top of it or things that they changed in the formula. For instance, the minimap. I never told you guys to just adapt. I said I want the minimap back to normal. I said dead silence should be a perk, not because I want it to be, but because the community wants it to be. A very, very vocal part of the community wanted that perk changed, and it never happened. I wanted a ghost nerf. I made a whole list of things they could do to reduce camping because I thought that for non-objective game modes, Modern Warfare played too slowly. I still think that. I always said a slower COD game is welcome, a stagnant one isn't. And when it comes to things like spawns or the MP5, those are things that I've never said adapt to. I've said they're blatant issues. And with Cold War, a lot of my issues were alpha related, console related, or issues like spawns or hit detection, the score streak system feeling personally demotivating to me. I saw some people saying that winning in COD is more important than getting streaks, but does that mean the last 13 years of Call of Duty didn't happen? Now there are some things I have to adapt to. I have to learn the maps, I have to get used to the animations and the time to kill. Core gameplay elements, kids. I have to get used to how far do I slide when I go to slide, how far can I mantle. I need to get used to aiming for the head and dealing with a lack of flinch. The game's not going to play like Modern Warfare, it's not going to play like Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1, it's going to play differently, and those are things I'm going to have to adapt to. But if there's an overpowered weapon, broken spawns, a score streak system that consistently makes me feel depressed, no, those are gameplay decisions, those are things that can be tweaked. Black Ops Cold War is not hinging on the score streaks persisting after your death, it's not hinging on an overpowered SMG, it's not hinging on people spawning behind me constantly in team deathmatch, or those dunes on satellite being the perfect, annoying head glitch that's going to terrorize that entire side of the map. Those are things that can be tweaked, those are things that can be designed around. We could get some extra cover, maybe a little building out in the dunes, score streaks have returned to normal or remove the cooldowns on them. Weapons can get buffed and nerfed, spawn algorithms can be tightened up. I would never tell you to just adapt to Modern Warfare's terrible spawns. I might tell you to expect them and roll my eyes, but I'm not going to tell you to adapt to the fact that the MP5 is still one of the most dominant guns in Modern Warfare. And also, when I would tell people to adapt, I didn't say you have to like the game or you have to play it. What I would always say is, if you are planning on playing it and you're going to continue playing it, don't play it just to complain. Adapt or get the fuck out. And you can adapt to a game while disliking many of the design decisions within it. Again, Modern Warfare with dead silence as a perk, a working mini-map, point streaks, or something equivalent, those things would have made me love Modern Warfare so much more. So while the just adapt thing is a funny meme, that's why I have t-shirts in my store that say just adapt on them and have my angry face on it, don't get it twisted. I've never said you should adapt to overpowered guns, bad spawns, frame rate drops, hell no. But yeah, when it comes to Cold War, I'm gonna have to learn the time to kill, I'm gonna have to learn the maps, I'm gonna have to learn the base mechanics. I can't play it the same way I played Modern Warfare, and I can't play Modern Warfare the same way I played Black Ops 4. I can't play Black Ops 4 the same way I played COD World War II. That's never been an option. COD games are different enough to have wildly different fan bases, or I guess fan bases with wildly different opinions about what makes a good COD game. If every COD game was identical, the community wouldn't be so divisive over everything. We would all just mindlessly consume the same game every year and never talk about it, but this is one of the most engaged fan bases in gaming because we constantly are complaining and judging and comparing. So keep the Just Adapt memes coming, but just know that if you're meaning it unironically and you're taking my complaints as a sign that I just need to learn the game when I have a general disagreement with a mechanic, you're misusing it. And while you can't really misuse a joke, I just worry that some of you aren't joking, and that's why I'm making this video. Other than that, keep the memes coming, I love them. See you when I see you. Go ahead and fuck yourself. That's right, no promotions at the end of this one. I don't care if you use my Manscaped code 1BOOM, for 20% off plus free shipping. I don't care if you subscribe to Boom's Backlog, a channel where I cover non-FPS related games. And I don't care if you go to my merch store and buy a shirt that says Just Adapt. No, the end of this video is entirely dedicated to me telling you to go fuck yourself.